Shalom. I want to start off giving all praise, honor, glory. Call hello Allah Yahweh Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shah Ba Hashem, Archa, Kodash Barakatham. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwaf and the Akim out there listening and learning. Shalom to the Fusion of Faith brethren join onto our ranks, as well as those that were hoping to join onto our ranks. Shalom to the sincere Akim, pushing the truth, wishing their lives and freedom to do so. And all of those of the hopeful elect. Once again, this is the brother Yawasop out of the GMS Cleveland Church, coming at you with another lesson. I was doing a group of series out of this book, what the future looks like. Like I said, just multiple different scenarios of, this red Hebrew Edomite veins and imaginations, what he would want society to look like, to try and prolong his power and, his idea of a utopia. Before I get into the book, I'm going to bring out one scripture, and that was the whole inspiration for these series of videos, because, like I said, these are all like future technologies that Esau, if he can, he would like to implement into society. So, of course, that mark of the beast technology, this is Revelations 13 and 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. Verse 17. And that no one, man, and that Salakia, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Verse 18. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. So, when you clearly read that, they got these depictions in these movies where Satan is actually, a big horned deity. When that's not the case. Now, of course, there's a spiritual, just like Yahushua, it's a spirit until he comes back in flesh. Well, the thing is, it says in Scripture that he's not going to meet thee as a man. So when he come back, he's coming as an angelic force. But it also said he's going to reign. So just like when it says in the book of, I believe it's Isaiah, it says, Lucifer Lucifer just simply means light bearer. But it said, Lucifer was a man, and it's clearly saying that, this beast is a man or a group of men, more than likely, because at the end of the day, you got, just like you Antichrist, when you go into 1 John 2 and 18, and he said it was many Antichrists, because Antichrist is just those opposed or against, Hamashiach. And at the end of the day, who is the person or the people on this planet? You got heathens, which more than likely are Israelites, when they're embracing this word, 9 times out of 10, their spirit, what's that in Romans 8? It said, our spirit bear witness that we are the children of the Most High. Like your spirit, I was listening to the brother in Mysteries of the Kingdom. I think they're in Alabama. I don't know the brother's name, but he made a comment. He said this book is about division, and at the end of the day, that's truth. You know what I mean? Like it says in the scripture about the Most High. I mean, Salakia, Yahweh shall being a stumbling block. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're going to have people that's going to cleave onto this word, or you're going to have people that's going to, rebel against it. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is, you know what I mean? But it also says in scripture, Yahweh Shah said it himself. He said, I come in, what's that, Matthew 10 and 34? Let me get that. I'm not trying to jump all the way around, bounce around, but that's where the Spirit got me at right now. So think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. Verse 35, for I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. So at the end of the day, that's the vision. You know what I mean? This book that's why, brothers and elders and, the men at Great Millstone say that Most High God is controversial. You know what I mean? And when you take the time to really read the Gospels, everything, like just the whole makeup of, how he did things actually is controversial, like for instance the story of I forget the female's name, but the what was it, one of Judah's, guess it would be like his daughter-in-law, but his son died. So what she do, she ended up tricking him to end up impregnating him. I mean, Salaki impregnating her, and he ended up having kids. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, when you take the time to really read the Bible is a very controversial book. I mean, that's why it is the book of the books. No other book has, prophecies. No other book actually and there's no other book misunderstood like that. You got everybody that think they know the Bible but don't really know the Bible. Everybody sitting up there quoting something that they heard. Like we had this Kemetic motherfucker come up to our camp like a couple of weeks ago, and this dude sitting up there. But you know how like Apostle Torah said, he said sometimes most of Jake is looking for entertainment. Now mind you, he came not with a scoffing spirit, but he had hidden intentions, because he's coming humbly as if like he had a question, but then he really just coming to scorn and scoff, you know what I mean? So, and may Most High God send evil towards that guy, you know what I mean? Because I mean, his woman was in order though. His woman had enough sense, you know what I mean? Like he was with a woman, a female. Brothers peeped it. I didn't. She around like where we camp at. It's like a building behind us. So she's at the corner of the building, but he's all up. But he didn't. He wasn't sincere. So Salak Rayon, you know what I mean? Anyhow, to that damn demon. Anyhow, so like I said, it says in scripture that Yahweh Shah was seeing or bring division, because that proven to cut to everybody that he doesn't want everybody. You know what I mean? Like if he wanted everybody, he wouldn't be coming with division, correct? Everybody be on the same page, but you got 50,000. Well, I'm over exaggerating, but you got a multitude of what's the word? Denominations. I got one more script, and I'm gonna get into the article. This is 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Least Satan should get advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, and we are not. This book, once again, What the Future Looks Like, is by Jim Al-Khalali, and the subsection or the chapter is chapter 15, Robotics, by Noel Sharkey. And I'm about to just jump right into it. It says there are many possible futures for our relationships, Salaki, our relationship with robots. Some are greatly beneficial to humanity, while others could lead to a dystopia. There is no way to tell which of these futures will happen. This is a field replete with crystal ball gazing and science fiction tropes, or troops, because it's like ropes, tropes. Amid the distractions, while governments are greedily eyeing the potential boost of billions of dollars to their economies, there are pressing issues that need to be dealt with now before Pandora opens for business. And at the end of the day, you got to remember, like, we in that information age, information, they call it information age. A spiritual man and man of the Lord see what time we in. Like in the book of Daniel, it said information or knowledge was going to increase. At the end of the day, like the same YouTube that I'm using as a platform to upload my videos, you can see these videos where they're literally showing robotic dogs. You know what I mean? So you don't think, you got to remember, Esau's, and that's the spirit too, because I just watched the brother out of Man of Valor, Shalom, Shalom, to that arc, because that brother is diligent and he's in the spirit, because he goes live 4 or 5 times a day. Well, I'm saying, and brings out a lot of pertinent information. I get a lot of. I used to like go to whoever's channel. A lot of truth seekers or a lot of people that call themselves exposing the truth. But that brother be so on point. I mean, he's always talking about something I wasn't aware of. But he was doing a video about the Russian super soldiers, like off of Universal Soldier. So maybe that just put me in the spirit to do this lesson. But my point bringing all that out is, at the end of the day, you know, he, well, the technology is already somewhere here. I mean, come on, you got the exoskeletons, you got the comment Obama made about we got Iron Man, you know what I mean? Like, what do you think the purpose? I mean, DJ Trump with his space force, like they're gonna be Voltron or some shit. So we have been loitering on the cusp of a robotics revolution for a couple of years now. Since the 1950s, robots have been working in our factories, painting cars, assembling components, and doing many of the dull and repetitive jobs faster than humans. Which, that's the spirit. I was just watching this. I think it was Discovery or something. I was watching one of those channels. Shalakia for that, because I don't know which one exactly, but they were showing how, like Caterpillar, they were showing you how they had the robots actually building, because Caterpillar, that's a huge factory. I'm sure they get, because you got to take the time to think about it. Their equipment is so it's essential to construction and whatnot, or not just construction. Farming is they got a niche business. Uh, at the end of the day, like whatever, I don't know the name of this piece of equipment they were assembling, but it's one of the things that like pulls up the wheat. It pulls up the wheat and then it pushes out. It collects all the wheat and it separates like the wheat from. I wouldn't know what the other. I don't want to say tear, but it separates it and packs it and shoots some other stuff out. I guess discards what it doesn't need, but it was showing how big this machine was, and it just showed the robots, and basically you could actually see how quick this thing was. Like recently I was working in this factory, and it was like assembly line thing, and I was basically putting up these racks, pulling them down, and putting up these racks, and it's basically like how that John Henry story was. You trying to fight against this machine, you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, from that documentary or that little episode, because I don't know if it was just a series that comes on every day or what, but it was about like everyday products being made though. Like I said, Salakia, like I said, for not being able to recall the name of the show, but it was about all different kinds of equipment or things that's made for industry. And that particular day was about whatever this machine was. But like I said, it basically like punched a hole. Like you gotta remember, this machine is like gigantic. You know what I mean? Because it's in big farmland, and so the piece of metal that had to be cut, it had to have holes punched in it, and the machine did it within like maybe like 25 seconds. If it took a man to do it, you know, and that's where that's why you got these terminals and McDonald's and places like that, because they're eliminating. Why they telling you, if you got a spiritual eye, you can see. You know what I mean? Like I said, they talking about, you got DJ Trump talking about how he made America great again or making America great again, but at the same time, it's less jobs. You know what I'm saying? You got people that's got to use their own vehicle now as a tool At one point, you would take your car to get to work, to go into a building to work. Now you got people that's actually got to use their car, and to show you how diabolical it is. Because like I know a female, she was doing the Uber or the Lyft, one of the two, and she basically had it. Of course, you're using your own car, but then they want you to have a certain kind of car. It got to be a certain year and all that. But long story short, she ended up fucking up her car by because she was like in it's a city in my state called East Cleveland. If you go look into the history of it, Rockefeller actually lived here. You know, and she was driving. I mean, like at that time when Rockefeller was here, that was like one of the most prominent communities in the whole country. Because you got to remember, on paper, John Rockefeller was like the first billionaire, but at the same time, you know, back then, of course, it was like, nigga better not dare. You know what I mean? But I think that that time, that's when like the area, like the west side of Cleveland, is more prominent. You know, is more diverse. Then on the east side is more of Jake. But when they originally just opened up, I think that west side is where more Jake was at. Then they pushed them out and all. My point being, now East Cleveland is just like, I mean, it's documentaries on YouTube. It shows East Cleveland is a bunch of abandoned buildings, mattresses outside, like a third world country. Real talk. So that's from all the wickedness them people did. You know what I mean? It's got a high murder rate, drugs sold left or right. You know. So let me stop there.